Afternoon everyone, day 642 today. Done 15,000 miles in this now. If you don't know me, my name's Mark. I'm a Porsche Cayman 987 owner and my channel, Mark Up 70, is all about the drive. I haven't done a vlog on this for a while now, so today I'm going to take a quick walk around it, point out a few things I've learned, and then we're going to take it for a drive. First thing to note is the headlight change. These things are super easy. There's a tool in the toolkit. You take the carpet out, remove a grommet, give something half a turn, and the entire thing just pulls out the whole headlight cluster. So it's really easy to get to the back and change the bulbs. If you haven't gathered it already from my videos, I absolutely adore this thing. It's a lot smaller than it looks as well. Here, it doesn't look particularly tiny, but here's a shot of it alongside some other cars. Got the 18-inch wheels on it at the moment. These are badly in need of a refurb. The brakes are the remainder of what was some EBC blue stuff, but I'll talk about those in a bit. Don't know if you can see that. Rear wheels are not so bad corrosion-wise, and these are currently running the remnants of some orange stuff that I fitted back before Blighton. So the pads in here have done a couple of track days. Tyres all round is a matching set of N4 rated Michelin PS2s. Don't know if you're going to be able to see this, but there's still about 4 or 5 millimeters left on them, despite having done 3 track days. I mentioned a couple of things broken on it. The first is under here. That's snapped. It's meant to hang over that bit, but it wears away because this is a sharp edge. It's only a few quid for a replacement. And the second thing broken is one of the cup holders. Now, they still come out and hold the cups okay, but this one on the left is damped and comes out smooth. This one on the right, if I let it go, it pings out. So the damping's broken on that one. Apart from that, 6 track days, 3 autosolos. Got another one coming up in October, but I'll talk about that in a bit. I've done all of that. It had a fairly sedentary life up until my ownership, and it's soaked it all up. Those are the only 2 things that are broken. Suspension possibly could do with a refresh, but again, I'll come on to that in a bit. Apologies in advance for all the cabin noise that you're going to get in this video, because I'm doing this one entirely with the PASM set to firm, just as an experiment to see how it all comes out. So yeah, I've done 244 miles on track over the last couple of months in July and August. In July I went to Blighton Park, first time there. On this I was running my 17-inch wheels with the thinner tyres and crap tyres, because they were hand coupe, whatever, mid-range things. They didn't have a great deal of grip. After 5 or 6 laps the fronts gave up, so they were really quite weak. But the orange stuff pads that I ran, they were fantastic. I was threshold braking, had the tyres howling right to the end of the day, but I did a proper bed in with them this time, and I followed what EBC say, and that is to get them really hot and then leave them for an hour. And when I did that in the first session, when I was trying to get them as hot as possible and then leave them for an hour, I thought I'd done something bad, because the pedal went really long. But the sense that I get is that you get them so hot that the pad material becomes really squishy, and then you park it up, leave it for an hour, and then they set. Blighton know as a circuit, yeah, it's interesting. I mean, it's an airfield and I'm used to those with Bedford and so on. So it's flat, no camber, no gradients, nothing like that. Quite technical, not too fast. Then 2 weeks after that we went to Donington. I had a bit of a problem because I'd all but killed the front brakes, the orange stuff pads. So I went to get a set of blues for front and rear. Couldn't get any rears anywhere, so I ended up just getting blue stuff front. So a brand new set of those went in before Donington, and I also swapped the wheels. So I went from the 17-inch rims with the thinner hand coupe tyres to these 18s with the wider Michelin PS2s. That was a good day, but a bit frustrating. I think I'm a bit too used to the track etiquette that you get at Goodwood. At Donington, because it seemed like everyone had brought a race car, and I think we were the only cars on road tyres and with number plates, because everyone had brought cars that were so focused, it's like they were always on a hot lap, so there wasn't much in the way of anyone yielding. But with the new set of blue stuff, I bedded them in exactly as I did the orange when I went to Blighton, as in, first session out, I just leant on them over and over again, didn't give them a chance to cool, got them so hot that the pedal just went almost to the floor. So at that point, yeah, they'd become really squishy. Then I parked up, I sat for an hour, then when I got back into it, the pedal was firm, the pads were there, they were biting, they were wonderful. So what I take from that is that for EBC pads anyway, I now know how to bed them in properly. And that's basically get them as hot as you like, as hot as you can, I mean, to the point that you lose your pedal. And when that happens, park up, leave the car for an hour. When you come back, they'll be solid, you'll have good bite from them. And for me anyway, on the Blues, they lasted right to the end of the day at Donington. And I did 156 miles. Something else I learned when I was there was the suspension on this car. See, I thought PASM was fantastic. Soft car, comfortable, super plush in the soft setting on the road, but in PASM, as you can probably tell, if you know it's coming across, with PASM in firm, it's just obscenely firm. It's like you've got no damping whatsoever. But on track, I always thought, brilliant, you know, absolutely makes the car. How could it be any better? And then I went out in Jeff's car. Now, Jeff's is a 987 Gen 2 base Cayman, and he's fitted genuine Porsche Cayman R suspension to it. So it sits 10 mil lower even than my car, which is 10 mil lower than the standard. The Cayman R is 20 mil lower, but he took me out in that. Wow, it felt so different to my car. It rode the curbs really well. Mine was making an absolute racket when I rattled over the curbs. He's just dealt with it. It was smooth, it was plush, but it had such good control. Then towards the end of the day, I took Jeff out so he could see what the PASM car felt like. We had a bit of a chit chat all the way around, and then afterwards, when we got out of the car in the garage, he said to me, he said, "Do you know what, Mark? Your car just feels tired." And I thought, yeah, that's a fair comment. The MOT that it passed after the 2 track days had another advisory for the corrosion on the front dampers. They are shockingly bad, the rust on them. So I wouldn't be surprised if my suspension's going to need replacing before long. And for the couple of grand or whatever it was it cost for parts, genuine Porsche parts, genuine Porsche 987 springs, dampers, anti-roll bar, and all the associated bits and bobs, less than 2k for Cayman R suspension all round. So watch this space. I may do that in the spring. I mentioned I've got another auto solo coming up in October. I'm determined to win my class this time. If Ian's not there in his Alpine 110, I'm in with a chance, but I think if I nail it on the day, I could possibly beat him. If Craig's not there in his GT4, I'm in with a chance, I think, from past performance anyway. But I'm going to try something different this time, and that is that I don't like launching this with 265s on the back, and the last time I was there, in the entire day, I launched it as in sidestep the clutch 24 times, because it's twice on each run, 12 runs, 24 launches. It's a bit of a shock through the drivetrain, especially with the grippier tyres on the back. So what I'm going to do this time is put the 17s on the back, the 17 rear wheels on the back, but leave the 18-inch front wheels on the front. And that's going to give me 235s up front, so I'll get the grip from the PS2s, but it's going to give me 235 Hankooks at the back. So I should have quite a bit of adjustability at the back. Traction isn't really an issue for me because you've got the engine pushing down onto it. But that initial launch, it makes it, for me anyway, a lot more palatable, if you like. Is that going to be enough to help me get the class win? A bit more bite at the front versus the relative lack of grip at the back? Who knows? Now's probably a good time. If you want to see that, please subscribe. Don't forget to hit the notification bell so you get informed of all of my uploads. And I'll end with a different angle of the tussle I had with the Clio 197 at Donington. That was my last video, or second to last video, and where everyone was, or quite a few, were calling out that the 197 was clearly faster. Well, to assist you with that, because I don't know what planet you're on, but to help you out, here's one lap where we had no traffic, and look how far behind I was at the start, and look how far behind I was at the end. And just to help you, at the points where I was lifting and coasting and easing off because I couldn't maintain my normal pace, I've pointed it out for you.